And I know some of you are probably going, oh, it's the bulb polarity. You got to change the bulb polarity. No, that's okay. Bulbs don't care about polarity as long as they got ground and power on some side. So I went ahead and I switched them for you. Look at that. Down don't work. Up works. So now we get the wiring diagrams out. The brute force diagnostics is over, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, we have a real quick video for you today, folks. This is the 2015 Crosstrek, and we're going to show you the advantages of investing in a scope. Now, I am using a fairly expensive scope, but you don't need to have an expensive scope for this. You just need to have an amp clamp and a voltmeter on a 2-channel scope to do this, and there's plenty of affordable 2-channel scopes out there to do this. Now, the way that I set my scope up is I have my amp clamp around the negative battery cable because it is the smallest. As you can see, the positive cables, the positive terminal has a lot of connectors on there because it branches out and goes to a different connections like the alternator, the starter, and the main fuse box. So that's a disadvantage. But the ground only has one main lead. So we're going to hook up to the ground. And when I hook it up to the ground, I'm going to zero the amp clamp out on there because I want to just get the deflection. Here we have a D plus, and then here's my amp clamp. And as you can see, we're just idling here at 1/2 amp, and I got 12.5 volts idling on my battery. All right. Now, in my vehicle, I've turned off as many loads as I can. No headlamps, no blower motor, no radio. And we're gonna do a test right now. We're gonna actuate the locks. Okay. See that little bump? That was 8 amps just to hit all the locks. Cool. Now the complaint is, again, that passenger window. So, using the master control switch, this is the driver window going up, driver window going down. Using the master control switch, passenger window will not move. And you'll also notice there's no current draw. That's very important to know. Okay? If there was current draw and there was no movement, that would mean that I would have an obstruction or I would have a seized motor. But right now, I got nothing. I have absolutely no current draw and I have no electrical signal. Maybe my interlock doesn't work. Let's test all the other switches. Okay, these are the rear windows working. Okay, so all the other windows work. Now we're going to take our meter and we're going to go over to the passenger side. Now, most window assemblies, we know from operating theory from most window assemblies that the master window switch controls power to all the other window switches. Okay, so what we have to troubleshoot from here is, do we have a problem here? Now we're over here on the passenger side switch. We want to test all switches. We just don't want to take that one switch for granted, okay? Even though power comes through the master switch, that master switch might be worn out, but power can still come through it and over here. So, it's the front window switch. Using the front window switch. Let's see what happens. Look at that. 12 amps. But nothing's happening. At this stage, what would you be doing? Ask yourself, with your experiences and your knowledge, what would you be doing? Would you, A, first go to a wiring diagram? And would you be looking at electrical connections? B, would you start taking off the door panel on the driver's side? And would you start looking for power and checking connections? C, would you get out your power probe? And would you go over here to the passenger side and would you start trying to power probe the motor and see if you just have a good motor? What would you do? Or D, would you try and find an alternative to not take things apart? I'm going to elect and go with D because that's what this channel is all about. How can we diagnose this problem without taking anything apart first? That is the objective of this channel.
Here we are in the power window system electrical diagram. Let's move over to page 2 so we can see our switch that we're interested in on the front passenger door, and here is our motor. Just to review, our motor only showed operation in the up position from this switch and not the master switch on the driver door. Our switch has 5 pins on it that we're interested in. We have 3 inputs and 2 outputs that are going to the motor. Let's go ahead and fill in the blanks a little bit so we can understand the flow, what's going on. And to do that, I'm going to need to figure out what Echo, Bravo, and Alpha is. Those are all coming from page 1. Here's Echo. Trace it. It's main power. Bravo. It's body ground. And Alpha. Well, it's just going to the same main power again. Yeah, it's fantastic. Now we can label that. We'll label main power simply B+. And keep it simple. B- for chassis ground. Now right here, again, I want to figure out what's going on. Mode of operation is up position. So right here, let's connect the dots. This power is always here. Coming over, runs along the leg. Perfect. To complete the circuit, we do need a ground. So we will just backtrack, connecting the dots, going up, runs through our master switch, and over here to B. Fantastic. Well, we know that these legs and runs are good, and we haven't had to get out a voltmeter and check anything yet. That was just all looking at our current, and it's like Sudoku. You know, we're just plugging in the numbers as we figure things out through deductive reasoning. Now let's talk about what's going on with the down side of the switch. And to do that, I will go ahead and just erase. So when we're going down, I would assume, wrong color. I'm just going to say that the power did make it there, because we did have power here. We had power there for the up, so why wouldn't we have power here for the down? And it's
It's going to our motor. I have money that says we got a ground problem right here on this leg. And we're going to find a connector problem either here or over here on this door card. So now we have justification to go in there and see what's going on. So with the passenger door card off, we have evidence that shows that somebody has been in this door card already. Okay, the weather packing and the butylene are all messed up. This is torn. The connectors are out of place a little bit. This connector was a little roughed up a little bit. So I'll do some more visuals because visuals are important. All right, now let's play with our circuit. I have my test light hooked up. All right, we have our 2-filament bulb. It's running at 4 amps because I have both filaments running. If I go in the up position, nice and bright. Down, doesn't work. Let's find out what's going on. Do I got a break in the harness? Do I got a bad switch? I don't know. This is what I really love about Subarus is they like using identical components and they're really easy to take apart. So it took me about 2 seconds. I took the switch out of this panel and I threw it up here. Yeah, the trim is a little bit different, but the plugs are the same. And wouldn't you know, down don't work, but up works. And I know some of you are probably going, oh, it's the bulb polarity. You got to change the bulb polarity. No, that's okay. Bulbs don't care about polarity as long as they got ground and power on some side. So I went ahead and I switched them for you. Look at that. Down don't work. Up works. So now we get the wiring diagrams out. The brute force diagnostics is over, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so driver door card is off, and maybe we have problems with the master switch after all, because some things fell apart when I took the door card off. Main switch assembly, door card was a little cracked. Obviously, the person likes to lean on it a lot. Again, visibility, somebody being in here. Don't know if this was previously troubleshot or if it was just, you know, it's a 100,000 mile car. Who knows? Plug, a little raggedy. You can see some separation there. Let's try and push that back together somehow. The bottom of the box had some separation. So that's not detrimental. That's just for the pins. That's just for the plug to go into. But speculation is all it is now. Still have to do our diagnostics. All right, we slapped the box back together. Everything's according, and let's look at that light. Hey, look at my scope. Booyah. So looks like we just had a bad switch box. Let's go to this switch. Oh yeah. Let's put it all together now. All right, motor's in. Look at that, folks. We didn't even put parts in it. You see, this is real diagnostics. Look at that. This is how you troubleshoot. And I could ask for 2 hours of labor on this. Customer is going to be so happy because they're not going to have to buy a $500 motor. They're not going to have to buy a $500 switch box or whatever it costs, okay? We just have to tell them that whoever went in here just messed some things up. We're going to have to put it back together nicely. Maybe
they'll buy a new door card because they'll say, you know, you broke your door card and it made some wires a little crazy in there. They might want to come back and get that later on. But folks, we're the hero today. This is how you become a hero. This is Diagnostics. Yes, we will put the original switch back in. Those are very, very good amperage spikes. No parts required. Ta-da!